Here we are, episode number 6. I was thinking about a theme song we can use, and it's "Let's Talk About 6, Baby."
Oh my gosh, that song! Oh my gosh! Oh, a staple of the '90s for sure.
Yes. We have this new station, 95.9. I don't know if you've been listening to it.
No, I haven't heard it.
But they play a lot of 90s songs in early 2000s.
Really?
95.9. Throwback station.
I will take a listen to it. I will listen to that on the way back.
Do you listen to like Spotify or Apple Music?
Big Spotify guy. I got into the premium about, I want to say 5-6 years ago. And I was just listening to the commercials, and then I got tired of hearing the Home Depot commercial. And the funny thing, I used to live right down the street from a Home Depot, so I always wanted to go buy lumber or something, you know. So I was like, you know what? I'm tired of listening to these commercials. I'm just gonna buy premium, and I haven't looked back since. So, yeah, definitely Spotify guy. Love the albums. Love the streams. Love finding new music. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're pretty good with that. But I can't believe you drank the Kool-Aid. That's the reason why they want you to pay for premium.
I did. The cool thing, I caught it on a good special for that year. It was like 99 cents for 12 months. So you can't beat that.
Yeah. I'm too cheap. It's like, I'll go for whatever's free. I'll sit through it. But
I do that for Pandora. I was like, yeah, I'll take a couple commercials. It's fine.
Yeah. But Spotify got bad. Like, it's like every 30 minutes now.
Really?
If you don't have premium. But sometimes I'll listen on YouTube instead. I just gotta be careful not to, like, press the touch screen so it doesn't, pause it or something.
Yeah.
You can't just, like, let it play unless you have the premium.
Yep. YouTube Red, I think.
Yes.
I think that's what it's called, YouTube Red.
Yes. And I heard they have some pretty decent shows.
Yeah.
Original.
They do. They do have some pretty good programming on there. Caught a couple shows when I had YouTube TV for a little bit. Like I did the trial just to see how I'd like it. I actually like it. Because it kind of keeps you from having to buy cable. It's
Yeah.
$40. I think it's $40 a month. So
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It has all the channels I need.
Right.
I only watch like 4 channels anyway.
Yeah. What channels do you watch?
There was a USA, ESPN, Cartoon Network for Adult Swim, and there's like the fourth one. I think it was the CW.
That's gotta have CW.
Yeah, gotta have it.
Do you
Even though I
watch, like,
haven't.
Supernatural and all that?
I haven't been watching this season. I stopped at season 13. I love the show. I've been watching since the beginning. So it's solid show. I love the direction. It seems like, hey, are they going to run out of stuff to run into? Nah, those Winchesters got this.
I never really got into it, but I know that what's-his-face, one of them lives here in Austin, right?
Yep. It's the one that plays Dean Winchester. He has a brewery out near Dripping Springs, I believe.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, one of my friends who's a big super fan. She checked it out, and it's a pretty cool place apparently. So.
Yeah, I haven't really checked out many breweries here. I've been to Jester King. Have you heard of Jester King?
No.
Oh, it's like way the fuck south.
Oh wow.
I remember like having some few strong beers, and I underestimated how strong they were.
Oh, no.
And when you're like driving, so I think I had to like pull over and wake up for a bit, because when you drink too much beer and it's all heavy,
Yeah.
and it's like that groggy drunk.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I never really drank beer a whole lot. Like my beer of choice was always Dos Equis, so it's kind of like a lighter lager. But if you have like 4, 5, 6 of those things, you're good.
Yeah.
You're really good for a while. And yeah, those will weigh on you just a little bit.
When did you stop drinking?
2 years ago. It'll be 2 years ago in August, I believe. Yep. It'll be about that. Just, just for like life and health reasons.
Do you miss it?
Sometimes. Especially with the way some things go in life. It's like, I really want to pour some of, give me a little small cup of Jack and something, Like my go-to, and I know a lot of people aren't a fan of it. Mine was like Jack and lemonade. It's a very interesting mix. So I would drop some Sprite in there just to give it some fizz.
Oh, okay.
But the Jack and lemonade, I think it was called at the time it was called a Lynchburg lemonade, I believe. Pretty solid drink. You just gotta get past the whole. I'm putting lemonade with Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on it. It's a good drink.
Well, tonight I'm having my champagne with mango nectar mimosa.
Nice. That looks wonderful.
Yeah, it's my liquid courage.
Nothing wrong with the liquid courage.
Well, I guess I should formally introduce my guest. We have, and it's weird calling you by your name. I don't know why. Because I just want to call you AD, and it just sounds cooler.
You can. Yeah. That's probably the best thing to do to kind of keep the mystery, the mysterious persona. Because a lot of people do call me AD now. Like, some leave it like how my Facebook name is, and some just do use the initials, which kind of prefer the initials because it's like not awkward.
Yeah.
And it's like AD. It's like just AD, like Anno Domini.
Is that where it stemmed from?
No, it actually stemmed from a previous brand name I had at the time. I had two different brands. One of them, was all, like the fashion and everything else, fitness, all the like fun, safe stuff. And then somehow I got pulled into the boudoir stuff, at some point, and I had to separate the brands. So I named it After Dark Series. But at that time, which was like about, I want to say it was like 2012, 2013, a lot of people were using After Dark. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cut it. Just use AD Series. Boom. And it just kind of took off from there.
I like it. I thought it was like, oh, I'm just going to take the last two letters of my name, Brad, and make it AD.
Which actually, that's another thing I figured out maybe a few years ago. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, wow. So it's just one of those things. It's one of those things that just happy accident.
Yeah.
Happy accident, yeah.
Well, we have the phenomenal AD Series. Photographer. What else? Do you do any other types of art?
It's mostly photography.
Yeah.
Dabbling in the video now. So
really?
Sony. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been seeing the model.
Like the little model videos here and there. Yeah. I dabble. Not that great at it.
Yeah.
I'll record it. And I'm like, okay, let's see what we can figure out. But dabbling in the video now.
What do you plan to use with it?
Let's see, just for behind the scenes stuff, or kind of like those little cool videos you see where it's like model name, little flash of her, and then it'll show whatever the story of the shoot is being told. I just kind of aim for that. Just do little clips, piece them together, and then add some track music, and then we're off from there.
Cool.
Yeah.
How many have you done so far?
Three. I hadn't been many since I just got my I just got a Sony A7R II about a month ago. So that's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun learning the Sony, I guess the operating system for Sony, because it's a little different than Canon.
Really?
Yeah, just a little bit.
In a better way?
There's a lot of buttons. There's a lot of buttons. Not knocking Sony because it's a solid product. It's phenomenal. But it's just the learning curve of working with Canon for over almost a decade or more. And then you're hopping into Sony, and it's like, okay, where do I find how to change the white balance? Or where do I find, change, the shutter speed, like where is it? But there's a lot of great videos out there.
Yeah.
So.
And are they just like 10-second videos, right? Just like really short promos?
They're probably about 30 seconds to about a minute, depending. If the story is like a good story of the shoot, I mean, I can extend that longer. It's just how much either Instagram will allow. I think it's like a minute and change. And then if they're going to use it for like Patreon or something like that, then it can be like a full-length video. It could be like a full-length clip. So
cool. Yeah, I know with this whole podcasting, it's so different from photography.
It is.
Yeah, and just like trying to line up the audio and putting overlays on it and rendering. Jeez. How long does it take you to render your videos?
Let's see. The last one I was surprised it went this fast. I thought it was going to take forever. It took about 15 minutes.
Oh, that's it?
Yep.
Oh,
then again,
never mind. Yeah, it doesn't take that long.
My machine is ridiculous, though,
yeah,
so
I believe it.
It's a little bit ridiculous. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit that way so I don't have to upgrade like every year.
Yeah.
So I just go for every 2.
I'm basically upgrading as I go. Whatever
good.
I can afford.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine, because like once you reach that point of, okay, I've upgraded this machine enough, it's like, okay, where do I go from here? Do I go custom? Do I order a whole new unit? It just, you just have to like match your machine for the things you need.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. With rendering the podcast, though, like getting over an hour of footage, I've been impatient. Let's just say that.
I can imagine, because the product you're putting out is amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And it's just, you get excited. You get excited, and you want to put that out. You're like, I want to show the people, what new episodes out there, and who I worked with, and you want to get it out there. It's just one of those things, just like, come on. You're kind of waiting on time, so.
It sucks because, like, all right, like, I think we've got it on a steady rhythm now that I got the external hard drive. I think in total, it probably takes, like, 12 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. But then I'm out of commission on editing photos, so I've really had to find a way to, like, schedule stuff. So I'm like, will my computer be available? So I don't know. Yesterday, though, I did a photo shoot at FOMO Factory.
Ooh.
Have you seen that? It's like a pop art exhibit, if you will, downtown. Like, I guess it's a traveling company.
Okay.
But they turned this old bar into like a fun house with like pastel colors. Like every room is a different theme, and you like pay for tickets, and you can go there and take photos. So we had a shoot there yesterday, but we thought we saw on the rules that you can't have like professional photography. So I just used my phone.
Oh.
So I did a phone photo shoot with a Samsung Galaxy S8.
Nice. I mean, that camera's pretty solid on that phone too.
Yeah. But
it's just one of those things, when you're used to taking, with your regular camera, your DSLR, versus, a camera phone, it's like.
Yeah, but the photos I didn't think to change the dimensions of the photo, so it's all long. Like, it's not like, like an 8x10 or whatever. So when I edit it in Photoshop, then I'm like, what do I do? It's not like I can really like extend the edges up so it won't look all wonky.
I'm trying to think of what ways you could work around it, because if you're taking it like portrait wise, the one tip that I learned with camera phone photography is like you kind of treat it like a fixed lens.
Yeah.
You treat it like a fixed lens, like, use your feet as your zoom and just kind of go from there, and just try to like get everything in the frame you need.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in Photoshop, you'll sit there, you download it, and you get it on the screen, you're like, and what next?
Yeah.
I've had that happen, so.
Yeah, but it turned out great, though.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear.
It's
I
just
think they have one in Houston.
like a pop art exhibit where you take photos.
Yes.
Yeah, there's another one on Congress, too, where it's like, I think, ice cream experience, where, it's just like bright colors. And,
Wow.
Yeah. It's a good deal for photographers. Like, you basically have a set up for you.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to adhere to the rules.
Yes.
That's one of the and then that's one of the things that steers some people away.
Right.
Because what's in right now. Like a lot of people want to go for that like Instagram bodysuit kind of like in scenery kind of look. And of course, at these locations you can't. You have to wear clothing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things. I shot at one. It was in the Montrose area. And it was a whole different experience. It was a whole different experience because you walk in, there's a big pink flower wall. Just like pink flowers. Go around the corner, there's an orange room. It's like all orange. It's the craziest thing I've seen because I've never seen a room that's just all orange.
Even the floor and the ceiling and everything?
It's just like that panel. It's like they have these orange flowers hanging down. And they have the walls orange. I think the floor is as well. They have a black wall on the opposite side because the window light is it's on this side of the wall and the window's right there. So you get great natural light, but it's just so darn bright.
Yeah, and then it would reflect on your skin and
yeah, it was interesting getting it in the Lightroom and playing with the white balance because I shot it cooler.
Okay.
I shot it cooler so
smart.
I could just kind of like balance it
Yeah.
out because the oranges were rich. They're very rich. So it was like, okay.
Was it like a candy orange or like what kind of orange? Burnt?
It was almost like Nickelodeon orange.
Oh, okay.
But just a smidge darker. I'll show you one of those shots. I'll show you one of them.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And so, let's see, what else do you got going on lately?
Oh gosh, I haven't really shot a whole lot this year. I've only had one shoot this year so far, and we're about January's almost done, and I've only had one shoot. It's just been busy, life being busy and all that.
And what brought you out of retirement?
Oh gosh. Should I let the audience know how I retired and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so there was a whole ordeal. I think it was late 2016.
Yeah.
Late 2016, roughly or so. That was gonna be my last year shooting. I was like, I'm done. It's over with. Tired of the industry, everything. So I had all these shoots happen, and then once December 31st rolled around, that was like my last day. So New Year's Eve was done, locked away all my equipment, stayed away from it. And I worked on a book that I was working on, so I was like, okay, I already have enough photos. I can just work on a book. About 7-8 months pass. I started traveling with one of my buddies that does a lot of instructing and photography. We started traveling to different places together, and I'm just like, oh gosh, why do I have my equipment? I shouldn't have my equipment. I'm just gonna leave it in the car. And he's like, hey, you can shoot if you want. And I'm like, you're enabling me. So, it just kind of slowly got back into it, just slowly. And then once kind of like Harvey time hit, last August, I was like, I need to get some extra, fundage, just because like I have this skill. I haven't really been shooting, but I still have the skill. It's like riding a bike almost. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm not retired anymore entirely, but I would call it selective. Yeah. Selective retirement, if you will.
Right.
Selective retirement. It's a real thing, folks.
Well, I'm glad you're back.
it's good to be back.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, Brad AD.
It's mostly AD.
He's actually from Houston, but you shoot all over. Do you ever go to Dallas?
I was in Dallas in October. This last October, I was out there for a wedding, and it just so happened to one of my friends was out there as well, who's a model, and we shot while I was there. So I was like, okay, at least I can get one shoot in while I'm there. So, but I don't frequent Dallas very often.
Yeah,
it's just
really just Austin and Houston.
Austin, Houston.
San Antonio?
San Antonio, I only know like one person out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like one person. I only know one model out there. It's just like between Houston and Austin. It's a good distance, like 2.5 hours. Quick-ish drive. I kind of like the network between Houston and Austin, but I mean, I've shot in Nevada. I've shot in Florida. Yeah.
Aren't you going to Vegas soon?
I think if everything goes according to plan, it'll be Memorial Day weekend.
Okay. For an event or?
For an event.
Like a workshop?
It's a wrestling show.
Oh. I didn't know you were a fan.
I mean, what gave it away?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. For those that don't know, huge wrestling fan. It's almost unfair how big of a wrestling fan I am. I blame my cousins when I was 2. And 34 years later, I'm still watching.
Who's your favorite?
Oh, like of all time or just like right now?
We can do both.
Oh, gosh. That is so difficult because I guess of all time, because I grew up watching WWF when it was WWF.
Right.
And then NWA before it became WCW. At the time, you're a little kid, you look up to Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
Ultimate Warrior.
Did you have those pillow buddy things? What did you call them again?
The wrestling buddies.
Yeah.
I had the Big Boss Man. He was my wrestling buddy who I had, just as a kid growing up, you see all these different, guys that you want to gravitate to, this like the big, the glitz, all that. I guess as a kid, it would be Ultimate Warrior. Because he had the music and everything, and he ran down to the ring, shake the ropes. It's crazy. That was one thing. And then, as a kid, all kids like Hulk Hogan. Just because, the 24-inch Python's brother and, and everything else. But now, I'm sure as you've heard in the news, all the things about him, it's kind of like...
Yeah.
Kind of distance away from that. So, and then, of course, in WCW was Sting. Sting was the guy, like, I actually met him.
Oh.
Yes.
Didn't he go to an NW?
He was in NWA, then before it became WCW.
Yeah.
Then he went from WCW to NWA TNA.
That's what I'm.
Yeah,
that's what I was
in
thinking
TNA
of.
in 06, and it was awkward. It was an awkward time, but he thrived. He thrived, because everybody wanted him to go to the WWE. That's where we wanted him to be on that big stage, but he didn't show up there till like late, like I want to say 2012 or something like that. So it was always something that was happening, and yeah, he's one of the favorites. Got to meet him at Comic Palooza, and I was like, it was like I was 8 all over again.
Aww.
I was just like, I'm a fan. You're the greatest. I've been waiting.
Who's your favorite now?
Now? Wow. There's so many talented guys out there on the like regular roster, independents. Can I name more than one?
Of course.
Okay, so number 1, so there's a guy who named Shane Strickland, based out of the Washington, like Washington State area. This guy, he's amazing. He's amazing, and also being here, visiting Austin as much as I have, I found a organization called Wrestle Circus that was just funny. I met one of the owners when I was at a WrestleMania in Florida, and she told me about it and everything, and I was like, okay, I'll go to a show, check it out. And I was out here shooting, and I went to the show, and I had a blast. So I've been to almost every single one except for like a couple of them. And he's like, every time he comes out, his entrance music is Shaka Khan's "Ain't Nobody," and yes, and it is the best entrance because everybody's clapping and they're into it. Yeah, and everybody's like singing, dancing around. So he's one of my favorites. There's another guy named Pentagon Jr. He's just all around like can I say badass?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
We could fucking swear on this piece of shit.
We can say all the bad words. Cursing. No, that's like he's such a badass. Like he's this luchador who, gosh, he looks like a combination of like a luchador, skull painted ninja guy, and he's such a badass. Like he's got his whole thing, you know, he's got his whole persona, and he does this thing where he breaks people's arms. And it's just like no mercy. The guy's relentless. He's one of the favorites. AJ Styles. He's one of those guys who have you heard of AJ Styles before?
I have. Okay. I don't remember how he looked though.
Let's see. He's changed his look. He looks different now. His hair is longer. Got a beard now. He used to be clean shaven, spiky hair. Still does a lot of the same stuff he was doing at 25 at 42. It's amazing. He's 42 years old. And he's performing at a level like a lot of people don't see, you know, 40 plus guys performing at. So, yeah, those are like my top 3 guys right now.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. And then, do you like Rey Mysterio, though, because of the... Okay.
Yeah.
Do they still have that one? I'm going to sound really stupid in front of real wrestling fans, but you know I used to watch.
Yeah.
Just because my ex was into it.
Of course.
And I even went to WrestleMania.
Yes.
And I fell asleep.
Oh.
I know.
Wait, so I wonder how did you fall asleep at a WrestleMania?
I drank a lot of beer.
Okay.
And I was just tired. I mean, we were running around because we also did that that meet and greet thing.
The fan access.
Yes. Yeah.
It'll wear you out.
And we stayed downtown in Atlanta, and it was fairly close. Like, the hotel we went to was within walking distance.
Oh, okay.
And it was very draining because we only went there for the weekend. So it was, like, in and out.
Yeah.
And then I just fell asleep.
That's amazing. Fall asleep at the Georgia Dome.
That was when Snooki was on.
Yes, I think. What was that one the one? Yeah, it was her and it was a mixed tag team match, if I recall correctly. Because I remember I saw her do the flip and everything.
Yes.
And I was like, whoa! I forgot she was a cheerleader. Yeah, that one was an interesting one. That I had went the year before.
Okay. In New Orleans?
It was in Glendale, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
It was WrestleMania 26. Yes, it was WrestleMania 26. Went to that one, then I went to the 1 year before, 25. It was in Houston. And I was like, I'm still amazed you fell asleep.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's so loud. I mean, I was afraid to get past the noise and everything.
It's nice, what's like white noise.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like when at actual wrestling events, it's so different than on TV because you don't hear the announcers talking all the time.
Right.
All you hear is just like boos and people walking around, and it's like nice nap sounds.
I love it. Nice nap sounds. I wish I could fall asleep at a show. I know it was like I've been to quite a few, and the pyro, not like the pyro, being in a dome setting, it's not as bad because you're not close. Now, if you're in an arena, sitting like first row, second row, that pyro's loud.
Yeah, you could feel the heat.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I remember. I think when Undertaker came out.
Yeah, he would have the flames come up.
You feel that.
Oh yeah, there was an instance when I was in high school. I went to my first pay-per-view. I think it was No Way Out of Texas. It was at the Summit, and my mom had got us seats like right above the entrance, so we could see everybody coming out. Well, there's one instance. I think it was Kane was coming out to face Vader, and I didn't know about his pyro. That pyro was this close from my face.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm leaning over the edge, and I was like, do I have eyebrows? Do I have them? Because it was scary, because it was like, pow, and then you feel the heat. And my mom's like, get back. she pulls me back, and I'm thinking, okay, my eyebrows, okay, they're there, good.
Aww.
But yeah, it was that was like the closest I've ever gotten to like pyro. And I think, yeah, for at least for wrestling anyway.
You went with your mom?
Huh? Yeah. It was me, my mom, and my aunt. Because I was in high school, so my friends that were going, they had already had their rides coordinated and everything. So my mom was like, "All right, I want to get this event." She's like, she would get them here and there. She said, "But once you start working, you are buying your own." I was like, "Okay."
Did you go that many times?
Oh gosh, when I was a kid, I started when I was like maybe 10. My dad took me to a house show, me and my little brother to a house show. I remember it was one of the matches, I'll never forget this. It was The Undertaker versus The Ultimate Warrior in a body bag match.
Oh.
Yeah, so where like, you beat your opponent, pin him, submission, whatever, throw him in a body bag, and then they get carried out. I mean, you're 10 years old, you're kind of like, what's going on here? This is a little, this is pushing the limit there. But it was a part of his character because he was an Undertaker, the whole thing there. So that was one of the first ones I went to. That was 92.
Okay.
92, and then progressively on and on and on. And now, oh gosh, I've lost count.
Yeah. Do you go to all of the WrestleManias every year?
No, it's a little hard to do the traveling for all the WrestleManias. I've been fortunate to go to 5, but most of them have been in Texas.
Oh, cool. Really? They've had that many in Texas?
They've had 3 in Texas. 17, the 2 in Houston, 1 in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to the one a year later in Florida, in Orlando, and then what's the last one I went to? Gosh, there's been so many. Oh my gosh, lost count. Okay, 17, 25, 26, 32, and 33. Okay. I was almost lost count. Yeah, I was like, I can't count today.
And did you meet any of the wrestlers in the Access?
Yes. I remember the first year they did Access was for WrestleMania 17, which was the first one in Houston. It was at the Astrodome. We're just walking around. I'm in college, so we're just like, oh my gosh, this is great. This is the coolest thing. And met a lot of these guys. A lot of them are still here. A lot of them aren't, unfortunately. But it was a really cool experience seeing them up close. Like, hey, how you doing? Shake hands, get autographs, and all that. It was pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah. I wish I remembered like all of the ones that I've been to, because I've been to a ton of Raw. I think I've been to Raw once, but was it Smackdown. I was gonna say Showdown.
Showdown live.
People are gonna smack me, wrestling fans. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Smackdowns. It seems like a lot of cities get Raws more than Smackdown.
Really?
Yeah, it really felt that way for a while because going to the ones in Houston, feels like I've been to more Smackdowns than Raws.
Yeah.
And I know they have them up here too. That I just never get to go because I'm in Houston usually. Yeah. So, although I would like to go to like a show here in Austin because I just like, hey, I'm hanging out here for the weekend, guys. So.
Yeah, and then you have a reason to stay here longer.
Exactly. Shoot. Catch a wrestling show.
So I guess back to shooting. Didn't mean to like trail off into wrestling.
It's okay. I could talk about wrestling almost all day. If you start, I'll start talking about it. So yeah. Back to shooting.
So for those who don't know your work, you mostly do like model photography, like glamour, not glamour, or what do you categorize it as?
Gosh, it's kind of a hybrid style. I would say it's more of a hybrid style because it brings in the elements of glamour, but it also has hints of like boudoir. Yeah. It'll have a bit of fashion in there if I feel like doing fashion. Because unknown to a lot of people, I used to shoot it on that other brand. I never touched any boudoir, no glamour, no nudes, nothing like that. I never shot it because it was something that wasn't appealing at the time. And then also I didn't know how to approach somebody like this, like, hey, how do you ask somebody Can you take your clothes off for a shoot? Can you? Come on, please, come on. But no, but I would like never ask that in any manner, by the way. But it's just one of those things where, you know, you're a new photographer on the scene and you're seeing these different things out there. You're like, I want to try that. Mm-hmm. Let's see how this works. So it's kind of like a hybrid style. Okay. I think that's the best way I can categorize it.
Yeah. I could see your work on, well, some of them, like Sports Illustrated, probably.
Yeah, like the swimsuit stuff, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see. Yeah, I can see that happening there. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and we have worked a couple times.
Yes.
I remember the first one was at not Walnut Creek. Was it Walnut Creek?
It was the one that had the cool graffiti wall leading
into
into that area where oh my gosh, the golden hour at that location was amazing.
Yes.
I mean, you can't beat that. You just can't beat that. It was at that location. It was with the little creek, and you had the purple like material that you're like wrapped in.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, is this it?
That might be.
Oh my God! Is this it? Maybe.
It looks like it is. Whoa. I mean, it just might be. I mean, that's pretty awesome if it is.
Wow! I didn't even realize it.
That's pretty sweet. Wow, that's awesome.
We shot this, and then recently the red bodysuit at the Aloft.
I think it was at that hotel. Yeah, this was pretty sweet. I like those hotels. Mm-hmm. Their beds are too hard though. Like, they're like, you know, you think you're like, I'm gonna hop on a comfortable, and you're like, I need a bacchiotomy. It's like, I need a bacchiotomy.
But at least you could bring dogs. We learned that.
Yes, you can bring dogs, which is amazing because I know a lot of hotels are either pro dog or either they're anti, or if they are pro dog, you know, they might charge you like $1 million just to keep your fur baby there. So. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a great place. It's always fun shooting with you. It's always fun. We always have a great soundtrack.
90s R&B.
You gotta keep the 90s R&B.
Do you always listen to that when you shoot other models, or do you offer their taste?
It's a mix sometimes. If it's some artist that I'm feeling at the moment, I'll play them, and then they end up liking that artist, which is the coolest part. It's like, yes, one more into the fold. But it's usually up to model's choice. I just don't like mumble rap. That's the only thing I try to steer clear from. I try. Because, I mean, I grew up in the 90s and the 2000s. I mean, that's where a lot of the influence for a lot of rappers, it was a golden era for hip hop. And now things have changed.
Oh, yeah.
Things have changed.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just leave it.
What bothers me the most is when mumble rappers don't pay respect to the legends and like I can't even understand what they're saying half the fucking time.
and I don't want to imitate any of them because somebody might get offended.
Oh, whatever.
All I hear banana. I'm like, what? Say it one more time. Slow it down just.
And then they all sound like Migos. They just, did I ever tell you that Migos bought me and John pizza?
What?
At Stoney's Pizza on 6th Street?
No way.
Yeah.
All three of them?
All
or is it just
three of them.
Quavo, Offset, and the other
Yeah,
guy?
like, I didn't even know who they were because I'm so clueless to pop culture nowadays. But, they were, like, tall and blinged out, and they let everyone just fall in line, and they were like, oh, order pizza, get whatever you want. And we're like, wow, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, had I known it was them, I would have asked for a picture.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to bother them like that.
The Migos.
Yeah.
And me being like kind of so like, I kind of like shield it from my memory. I just thought about their name. Migos, short for Amigos.
Yeah.
3 of them. And I was like, goodness gracious. I was like, wow. I was like, that's creative in their name set. And Migos, and then also, of course, with food, with the tacos is meat. Is it Migos?
Oh, Migos.
Migos, yeah. So it's like, do I think about the Three Amigos, or do I think about food in the name, in the naming scheme? I think I'm just going to stick with Three Amigos, although I do love that form of taco. It's wonderful. Torch cheese makes good ones, too.
I didn't even know what migas was until I moved to Texas. They don't have that stuff up north, for sure.
No, not too much stuff like that up north.
And you're born and raised Texan, right?
Yes, born and raised
Houston?
Texan, Galveston.
Oh, that's right. But you moved to Houston, you said 15 years ago.
Yeah, I want to say, officially, because I went to school in Houston. So, went to school there. I was young, 17. On my own in college. Being 17 on your own in a big city, it's different. It's real different, as you're thinking, oh gosh, I'm 17, I'm grown up now, it's me against the world, me against these books, and reality kind of hits you kind of quick. You're like, you're not an adult yet.
Yeah.
Yes, I was 17 for the first 3 months of school.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 17, but I wasn't the youngest. There was somebody who was 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was on the floor below us. And we were trying to figure out, I was like, all right, who's the youngest here? I was like, not me.
Was it because your birthday's late or you skipped a grade?
Birthday's late.
Oh, okay.
Birthday's late, yeah.
What'd you go to school for?
Originally went for IT. And then I changed it because they just wanted to do programming all day. I was like, I was not about that life. I was like, hey, I want to learn about Windows XP. Programming's not going to help me do desktop stuff. It's not going to help me do this. So switch majors, but I still worked at a computer lab. So that kind of helped out. It was a pretty cool setup.
Yeah.
Cool setup, yeah.
And what year did you graduate?
2004.
Oh.
Yes.
I just graduated high school in 2002, so I didn't realize we had that much of an age gap. I mean, that's not a lot. It's not a big. I thought we were closer for some reason.
It feels like we are, but it's probably just what it's just not that much of a gap. It's not that.
But we still share our love of 90s R&B.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
we're the late. Well, I'm considered a millennial, but I don't know if you are.
I am.
You are
the
very tip, right?
Yeah, we're like right on that cusp.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like even though they say millennials are the ones that are younger than us, they're like, no, you guys are the millennials. I'm like, how? We talk bad about them all the time.
Yeah. And the technology during our generation just wasn't the same either. Like,
no. It was forever changing.
Yeah.
It's forever changing, and I mean, I remember when computers were like as big as that monitor.
I know.
They were huge. They were just
playing
huge.
Oregon Trail.
Yeah. I remember the little beige ones we used to have, the little beige ones in the computer lab, and we have the CRT monitors and playing Oregon Trail, dying of dysentery and stuff. Like, damn it, why did I die on the trail? It's like, Brad has died of dysentery. It's like, well, my game's done. I'm done. And I'd walk away.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh,
floppy discs,
but floppy.
Right? VHS. Cassette tapes.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Oh, all the memories are flooding back.
Right?
All of them, because I actually still have a lot of that stuff.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Good for you. I wish I kept stuff.
It's kind of one of those things like you want to keep it, you want to get rid of it, but then at the same time you're like, I can't forget my past.
Yes.
You know, it's just like sometimes I want to hear Kiss from a Rose by Seal on cassette tape.
But where would you play it? You have a cassette player? Oh, in a boombox?
It was like we had two. One was like the one with the two cassette slots. Yeah, the double cassette slots. I have a boombox somewhere, but it wasn't like a true boombox per se. It was one of the ones that had, you remember how they used to put the CD changers on top?
Yes.
It was one of those.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember my first experience with a CD player was those stereos.
Yeah.
And I would sleep at night and plug in my headphones and listen to CDs for like the radio.
That's so amazing.
Or I would actually listen to Walkman at night until the batteries gave out, and it'd be like, you know that sound?
I remember.
Yep.
It was so great. Oh my gosh.
I know.
And it's just so amazing how the tech has evolved from large stereos to medium size to boom boxes to, you know, CD players, mini cassette players. Now the iPod, like, you know, the little iPods that were like that big, you know,
Yeah.
iPod Shuffle. It's like, wow, it's
Right?
crazy.
I know.
It's so crazy.
I know. We sound like old people.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember the days of Napster?
I do.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, those days.
Yep.
When there was dial-up
Yep.
and you're trying to download a song, you know, it was like when I had it, I was trying to get a Creed song. And, you know, I'm waiting for it to download because we had America Online, downloading,
AIM.
and then somebody calls, goodbye. You're like, no. So you have to start all over again. But thankfully, I got my own phone line and no one ever called. Unless I told them to call, but it was the family internet line, but it was my phone line, so nobody called.
Spoiled brat. I'm just kidding.
But
But you were an only child, though.
Yeah, I'm an only child, so I had to push for it, though, because having to use dial-up and have the main phone line get tied up so often, I'll get in trouble. Because, you know, family would miss calls.
Yeah.
I'm getting yelled at like, hey, so-and-so's been trying to call me the last hour. What are you doing? On the internet, Granny. Jeez. She's like, get off that internet. I need to use the phone. And kids, for those who have never experienced dial-up, just imagine you trying to download something important, maybe it's not important, whatever, and then somebody comes up and says, hey, I need to use the phone, and, you know, they want to use the phone, and they can't because all they hear is, you know, like the whole dial-up static deal, so you had to get off the phone unless you had a second phone line in the house, and you could use that. So that's the only reason I ended up getting my own phone, because tying up phone calls and all that. So necessary evil.
Oh man.
Gosh, classic stuff.
I still call some of my friends by their AIM handles.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I remember my font too, because it was Snap ITC.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if you know that font,
I
but
do.
It's like bubbly and cool and.
I remember. I had to memorize a lot of fonts. So there's a lot of because when I did print stuff, I had to memorize a lot of that. So I remember a lot of these fonts out there. Snap ITC.
Yep.
Yeah, mine was Arial 10.
That's boring.
It was the clearest. I mean, I could see it. I mean, people started making fun of Comic Sans. Because I had Comic Sans like 12 bold for a little bit. And then one of my friends on AOL made fun of me because I had it. I was like, it looks fun. They're like, it's corny as shit. Change it. So I changed it back to Arial like 10 point, and ever since, I've never looked back. So that's the font I use for most documents these days. Yeah, usually, you know. I try to make people read it. It's like, read this. Zoom into 110% if you need to.
Oh
Goodness. Yes, I know. So it's like it's one of those things. Just like you see how things evolve, and like, you know, and also in photography.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first digital camera? Like, you remember your first camera?
Well, actually, so I didn't even get into photography until way late. So I never got to learn on film. Like, I mean, I used to use just, you know, the cheap old disposable films or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think I never really had like my first one was my Canon Rebel XTI. And I got that when I was, 12 21 maybe.
I remember those.
Yeah. So, I still have it.
Nice. I mean, it's always good to keep.
Yeah.
It's always good to keep those. I mean, I wish I still had the first camera I shot on.
Well, was it film?
Well, trying to see how far I can go back. I used the disposables as well. I used a lot of those. And then I got my first digital camera back in 1999.
Oh.
First digital camera is like 2 megapixels. It was about yay big. It was silver. That's the one thing I remember. It was silver. And the first picture I took was one of my buddies for this pep rally thing we were doing. And you download it, you're like, yeah, this is awesome, digital. We don't have to deal with Walgreens. You know, we don't have to go turn it in.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm looking at the resolution compared from then to now. Oh my gosh, it's like light years beyond. Because, I mean, like the Sony, the A7R2, those files are 42.1 megapixels.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that's also another thing that I've run into. File size. Those things are like 83 megs and up.
Damn. Now I want to switch to Sony.
Well,
But I have Canon lenses I don't want to get rid of. Well, I mean, not get rid of.
Well, they have a Canon mount. What Sony did, which is smart, there's a mount for Sony for whether it's Nikon, Canon, Olympus, you know, whatever. I think they have an Olympus one. They have a Sigma one for sure, and it's made by. I have one that's made by Sigma, and I use my Canon lenses still, so I didn't have to change because that was the one thing I was afraid of if I ever went that route.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have to change. So if you ever think about going that route, you find a Canon mount, you should be good.
How much are those usually?
Like $200, I think.
That's not bad for being dual purpose.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's just like you think about what you have and what you shoot, and then you just kind of work it according to that. Because like I just shoot prime lenses right now. Like, that's kind of my thing. Because I love zoom lenses. The 70 to 200 IS2 and 3 are great zoom lenses. But the prime lens is just something special about it, especially when you're shooting, like say if you're shooting someone with a 50. It's like you don't have to get too close.
Yeah.
But you don't have to necessarily stand like across the room to get what you need. Except with the 135, you kind of have to stand across the room to get what you need sometimes, unless you're in a big studio. Have you ever shot with the 135?
I have not.
Oh gosh, that's like the 135 f2. It's probably one of the best portrait lenses out there.
Okay.
It's a great lens. You just have to have quite a bit of space, just because the focal length is so darn close. Like say if you're using it in here, you'd be here. Subjects there, you probably get about this much happening. So maybe, yeah. And you shoot what? Like what camera are you using now?
T3i.
Okay, T3S is crop. So yeah, so it'd be probably like face.
Yeah.
Probably would be face. Always try to remember camera math. Camera math is real, y'all. Camera math is real. APS-C versus full frame, it's real.
That's like way beyond my spectrum.
I'm a camera nerd. I'm sorry, I have friends that are camera nerds too.
I'm so like I think the extent of my knowledge is just the basics of how to work manual. But like other than that, I guess you could say I don't know the math that you're talking about.
It comes with time and experience.
Yeah.
One of those things that I never thought I was going to learn about. But with some of the instructors that I've been fortunate to work with, you know, they sit down and they explain why this works this way, or why this focal length is possibly best for this, or it's just a lot of different things that you know you pick up over time. Right. So it's not necessarily like you got to just jump out the gate, learn camera math. Yeah. No, it's like something that you pick up over time. So it's just one of those things that's kind of like, okay, well, do I remember this now? Especially with shooting outside. It's always fun. it's always fun, like the challenges of outdoors.
Yeah.
Because not only are you battling the elements.
Yep. Harsh sun. Well, you don't want to shoot in harsh sun.
Yeah, even though you can get away with it. You can get away with it with a few different things. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Using that scrim. You always have a second person with you with the scrim, unless you can get away with it with a stand.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's like you can shoot in those conditions, but also, you're dealing with, like in Texas summers.
Yeah.
And it's always people like, hey, I want to go shoot outside in Texas heat, and you're like
eaten up by mosquitoes.
Yeah, especially mosquitoes, and somebody might be allergic to the mosquitoes, or they might be allergic to DEET, which I didn't know that there's a DEET allergy. I had no idea.
Really?
Yep, because there's somebody I shot with. They're allergic to mosquito spray.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess because I don't use it, with my sensitive skin.
Yeah.
So I just avoid being outside.
It's usually the best thing. It's usually the best thing to do. Avoid areas with water, standing water, and just outside. Just don't go outside for like 7-8 months.
Well, I do like being outside, but
yeah.
Not, just like in my backyard.
Yeah, see, backyard.
Yeah, just go in and out when I'm hot.
Yep.
Some ice cubes on me.
I'm done with this, and then you just walk back inside. But if you're like on location or something, and it's cool waters are happening, and you're like, I'm getting this shot, then all of a sudden the swarm just shows up, and that part's never fun.
Yeah,
I've had that happen before. I was shooting a swimsuit shoot. This was in Galveston. It was over summer, I think. I was shooting a swimsuit shoot, and you know how they have the seaweed on the beach?
Yes.
We touched one of the pieces of seaweed, and I've never seen this before. A whole swarm of mosquitoes just came out of the seaweed, and they started chasing us. And I had the spray, and I was just like combating them all, and they all, perished then. But it was just crazy because I've never seen 12 come out at once, and they're just all chasing us. Yeah, gross. And I thought they couldn't thrive in seawater, but apparently they can.
Ew.
I was like, seawater, that's dangerous. Yeah, those things. So like, I guess shoot-wise, back to our shooting stuff, I love this podcast. This is great. This is great. I guess like shooting wise, we're trying to think of what else is going on. There's I want to do some projects this year, but it's just timing. Time is my enemy right now.
Yeah.
So it's trying to find things to do, find free time, and I want to do some cool projects this year. Yeah.
Like what?
It's exclusive. I want to bring my book back.
Saturate?
Yeah.
Great book, by the way. You're working on volume 2 right now.
I'm working on volume 2 right now. The plan is to split up the original book into 2 volumes, add new content to each one, just like 2 or 3 people, and then if you want everything, you just buy the one whole book at a premium cost versus $20 for volume 1 or $20 for volume 2. That's not the set price, by the way. I wish it could be. But yeah, it's just as an example. And I'm hoping to get that done before the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before the end of the year, I just got to recruit some new people.
Yep.
Just got to recruit a couple of folks to volunteer. So
that won't be a problem. Who doesn't love you?
There's a couple people that don't, but that's for another story. That's for another.
That's for our tea time episode.
Tea y'all.
Oh wow! I can't believe we're hitting it an hour now.
Are we now?
Isn't that crazy?
That is so crazy. Wow. That's crazy. Time flies.
It really does.
Time flies.
I'm so glad you made it up here.
I'm glad I was able to.
He has to drive tonight back to Houston.
I'm crazy.
Talk about that dedication. That's what's up.
Yeah. I've done it before many times. I
couldn't do it. I can't drive at night, like on 290, like that 2-lane. It's just so scary for me.
Yeah, I don't do 290.
Oh, you do I-10?
I do I-10, yep. Because it's easy. Straight shot.
Yeah.
Straight shot. The cool part, there's a Buc-ee's on the way home. There's 2, actually. So,
Oh, shit.
yeah, it's like, I don't know. I'm going to stop at for beaver nuggets or energy drinks. I don't know which one. But, yeah, that's one of my favorite places to stop.
Buc-ee's, if you want to sponsor us. Every episode, I like just shouting out random.
Get some sponsors in here. Get some more sponsors. I mean, there's nothing wrong with sponsorship at all.
Because it would be nice to replenish some of my funding, you know.
Yep. I mean, and I know as an artist, you know,
Yeah.
you have to, you put your labor of love into the equipment. You want everything to be great and
Right.
look good, and you want quality content.
Yes.
So, yep.
Yep, it's going to come at a price.
Yeah, it's like everything has a price.
I know.
Wish they could go back to bartering. Bartering would be kind
Yeah.
of cool, you know. Like trade this thing for this thing and an item to be picked later.
Yeah.
You know, that would actually be really super. Gosh, and like I've been anticipating this. Like, you have no idea.
Really?
Yes. I
Aw.
really have, because I 'cause, like we were talking earlier. I'm usually quiet.
You are.
I'm like super quiet. I'm normally quiet, reserved person. It's kind of hereditary, I think. It's just like I'm one of those guys, like pretty quiet, you know, unless I say something, I don't say anything unless I have to say something.
Yeah.
And there are some things that, you know, I like to talk about.
Aw.
So yeah.
I think, I was the one that started reaching out to you at first on Facebook.
I think so.
Because I worked from home, and that's when I had like the freedom to be more talkative. Now it's like I can't do that. I wish.
It
But we
happens.
used to have fun.
I remember. Holy moly. And that was when I first started coming up here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was kind of around the time I first started coming up here, and I still remember the first time I came up here to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a semi-sad story, so you know, it's okay. It's okay. You know, it got better. I came up here to shoot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody flaked.
Every single one?
Every single one. Everybody flaked. And I was so mad. I was like, I'm never coming back here again. Da da da. You know, I was just so angry. So I went to a Luby's all-you-can-eat buffet to eat my sorrows away. Because I was not happy. I was watching college basketball and eating Luby's. But then, you know, people like you've restored. You know, you restored the my faith in the you know, in the community out here.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like one of my best friends is out here as well.
Yeah.
So it just really, it kind of helped.
Good.
It kind of helped because I was ready to give up. I was ready to give up on Austin. I was like, does everybody out here flake? I thought Houston was bad, but you know, I thought everybody was gonna flake out here. But there's some great folks out here to work with great artists. I didn't realize how many great artists
There really
out
is.
here.
Yeah.
The level of talent out in this town, it's amazing. It's amazing.
That's why I feel like there's no shortage of potential guests for this show.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of me gathering the balls to ask.
Like, hey, you want to come on my show? Talk a little bit about what you do, what you don't do, what you like.
Hang out with me.
Yeah, and it's always great to hang out with you. It's always
same.
fun. Yeah, for sure. And I didn't think that I would talk about the wrestling thing today.
Well, I mean, look at you. We have to address it.
I mean, you know, rocking the luchador mask, you know, because not also, it's my gimmick. It's my gimmick. It's just one of those things because I can't, like, provide my identity, you know, but it's kind of one of those things where, you know, as I've watched it and I've seen enough where it's like, hey, I'm coming up with this persona.
I like it.
Thank you very much.
It's very unique. Who else do you know? You know, does that. I like how you even do selfies with your models wearing your mask.
Yeah.
I honestly was going to wear a wig today because it's like, yeah, but then I probably would have been sweaty and itchy and uncomfortable. So.
Wigs will do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Wigs will do that. I've seen it happen. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things where I kind of figured it out. It was, You're familiar with the singer The Weeknd?
Yes.
Okay, so when he first came on the scene, nobody knew what he looked like. No one knew what he looked like. You know, they just knew his voice, they knew his music, everything else. So as I was trying to figure out, I don't know what I'm going to do this After Dark series and not mix it with the other thing. Do I come up with a new brand name? Do I change my persona? Like, what do I do? And it's always one of those things when people shoot with me, we're like, what does he look like? Do you know what he looks like? Have you seen him before?
He only has one eye. He's a cyclops.
He's got one eye and 7 teeth. That's it. And facial hair. That's it. You know, like did you know a lot of people were like apprehensive at first to work with me?
Why?
Because they didn't know what I looked like.
Why does it matter?
Because I was very like, almost like Batman. I try to keep
I like
it.
that though.
Yeah, because it's kind of a fun ordeal.
Yeah.
But also it's like the face doesn't I guess, how do you say, I let my work speak
Yes.
for itself.
Yes.
Versus it's like, you know, say if I had this particular look,
Right.
and they're like, oh, he's just this type of guy, but he shoots this.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, you know, that perception kind of deal. But yeah, so I just let the work speak, and people are just like, who is he?
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's the right attitude to have. Well, we should probably plug in some like links where can we find you, how to book you.
Of course. With the Instagram at the phenomenal and the number 1 AD series.
Did you change it?
I changed it. Not recently. It's been a few years.
What was it when we first met?
AD series.
Oh yeah, that's right. Just AD underscore.
Yeah. It was just AD series.
Oh.
And then I changed it.
Oh, AYDEE. Oh, that was your Facebook.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, so like my Instagram handle, it was just AD series. And then one day I went to change it for something. Went to go change it back. Somebody took it.
What?
Yeah, and I was like,
Who else
hey.
would be an AD series?
It was this guy that draws dogs or something. I don't know. It's like dogs and something else. It was interesting.
It's like a dog series, so AD.
Yeah, something like that. It was weird. I was
Lame.
like, hey man, can I get my handle back? And he's like, no. So he wouldn't give me my handle back. So my BFF at the time was like, hey, your work is just phenomenal. You're just the phenomenal one. And then there it was. It's just bing. Just happens. I was a play off the AJ Styles thing because he's like, it's a play off of that too.
I see.
So it just kind of like, it just kind of like came together.
Yeah.
I was like, this is perfect. So that's my Instagram handle. I'm sure you put that at the bottom there.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where you can find me because I don't really do Facebook very much.
Yeah.
So
you know me.
like Instagram is like my favorite place.
What about Tumblr? Have you experienced the?
I erased my Tumblr.
Yeah. What's the point now, right?
Yeah, it's almost like, what's the point? Then also, once all that stuff started happening a year ago, I was like, not gonna risk it.
Even with Facebook, I feel like all the big photography model groups are gone.
A lot of them are gone. I'm a part of like a really big one. Which more than welcome to be a part of because it's a great community. It's a great community. It's just just gotta like we just gotta prove it.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun.
I don't know. I think I've moved on from those groups. They're just so full of drama.
Some of them are.
They really are.
Some of them are. This one is drama free because a lot of us police it.
Oh, you're an admin?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'm an admin in this group, so we
Cool.
just kind of look for certain content. We look for certain because a lot of people don't post those subjects in there.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna rile people up with some of the stuff that they talk about in some of these groups. We're like, delete.
Good.
No time for it. Can't think of any of my other social media stuff.
Do you have a website?
No. Website was in the works. May do it again.
Too much up.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Plus, I don't have a lot of free time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those.
Because we both have regular 9-to-5s.
Yeah.
As the case with most artists, which is why you gotta respect us. I'm just kidding.
Put some respect on the names.
Well, we should probably wrap up.
Yes.
And many thank yous. Thank you for introducing me to Wingstop.
No
Tonight was my
problem.
first time trying it,
No
and I'll definitely be back.
Yes. Try any of their wings there. They're usually pretty
If you
good.
want to sponsor us,
You guys want to sponsor us, cater, a few of the boxes, some lemon pepper wings.
occasion.
I'm
You know where to
down.
find us. Well, thank you for coming,
No problem.
and would love to have you back again. You know that.
I
So.
would love it. I would love to be back. I would love that. So.
Well, for everyone else watching, you guys have a good night. Until next time. Bling, 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 bling. Ding.
This is like the greatest exit. Like the greatest exit of the show.
You can reach us at fatalpodcastatx@gmail.com or Instagram at fatalappeal.